It snowed last night, and the new guy didn't bother showing up for work this morning. So I drove out to his place to see what was going on.
You ready to go?
He said his truck was broke down and wouldn't start. I guess his phone must be broke down too because he didn't text me to let me know. I told him we had a long day of snow removal ahead of us. I'm going to be plowing with the skid steer. I want you to clean around the doors with a shovel. He didn't like that one bit. He said I was hired to run equipment, not a shovel. To be fair, it was super cold out, so I told him he could ride along as long as he didn't touch any of the controls. Having the new guy along made me think back to what it's like to be a kid and sit on your dad's lap and drive. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite memory of getting to drive growing up? I've got this one guy that works for me that's really poor. I pay him good and everything, it's just that he's got a lot of bills and he goes through money fast. His one goal in life is to someday own a hot tub. Every day at work, he's talking about hot tub this and hot tub that, and someday when I get my hot tub. So I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I could build him one? Now, the other thing you gotta realize about this guy, he's really small. We're talking tiny. If he was to get in a normal-sized hot tub, it would be like an Olympic-sized swimming pool for him. His actual name, I mean what his parents named him and what's on his birth certificate, is Pinky, like your little pinky finger. But between me and you, he's embarrassed of his name, so we just call him the new guy. Because he doesn't have electricity at his house, I invited him over to the shop so he could check out the hot tub. He showed up like 10 minutes after I called him, and I've never seen him so happy. And with all the stress he carries, he couldn't wait to get in the warm water. Let me know in the comments, what's the nicest thing your boss has ever done for you? I just poured this small front porch on the new house we're building, and I decided to pour it myself. As a general contractor, I usually sub out all my concrete flat work, especially something big like a basement or a garage. I have poured a few sidewalks and a couple small slabs over the years, so I thought it'd be fun to do this little porch by myself. I used a hand float to get the concrete level with my chalk line around the edges, and then I got a straight 2x4 to screed off the middle. This porch is actually going to have pavers on top of it, so the finish doesn't have to be perfect. I tapped the side of the form boards with a hammer to make sure there be no voids. Then I used a bull float to smooth out the middle of the slab. I put a really heavy broom finish on this. The texture will help the pavers bond with the concrete slab. And wouldn't you know it, right as I was done, the new guy showed up. He said he would have helped, but he didn't want to get concrete on his new work boots. Let me know in the comments if you want to see me strip these forms off. We baked a massive cake on the job site to celebrate 100 days with no accidents, and a ton of you asked if the new guy got a piece. Let's just say he's embarrassed because we had a little bit of a situation. He said he couldn't reach the brake pedal. I mean, I get it, he's got short legs. But I'm starting to think maybe this wasn't an accident after all. If you want to save yourself potentially thousands of dollars in foundation repairs and have a dry basement, do this one thing. Bury your downspouts and pipe the water away from your house. I'm using 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC pipe. I start with a thin wall downspout adapter like this, then I cement it into a 4-inch Schedule 40 coupler. I'm using clear primer since these fittings will be visible above grade. I'm making sure to slope the pipe away as I go, around a 1/4 inch per foot. Everything was going really well until the new guy decided to come out and check on my work. Lately, he's been kind of critical. At first, he said I wasn't using enough primer. Then he said I was using too much primer. The worst was when he got out his tiny level and tried to tell me I didn't have enough slope on the pipe. Honestly, I think he's just bitter I didn't hire him with his new side hustle, Pinky's Plumbing. I got into a huge fight with one of my workers today. I built this guy a tiny home about a year ago and told him he could live on the job site for free. But now I need the topsoil that his house sits on. He came out right away yelling at me. I've never seen him this mad. He was like, "You have no right to dig that close to my house." And I was like, "This is my land and you haven't mowed your yard once in a year's time." Then I said, "Don't worry, I'm going to move your house somewhere else on the property." He said he had some rare collectibles and wanted me to get them out first in case the house fell. So I set up a ladder to get him down. He just sat in the skid steer barking orders. I got his comic book collection, DVDs, his grandma's china set, and his extremely rare, still in the plastic Perry Como Christmas album. Next, I had to get his house down. This was a little sketchy because it was so high up, but luckily nothing got damaged. By the end of the day, he seemed to have calmed down a good bit. What do you guys think? Should I tell the new guy he needs to get his own place, or should I let him keep living on our land for free? One of my employees just bought and paid for his very first work truck, and he's so proud of it.
You need a hand unloading?
I had sent him into town to pick up a dishwasher. We're almost done with the new house, and one of the last things we need to do is install the appliances. He said he didn't need any help unloading. I think that was a mistake. I was upset about the dents. He said don't worry, those will buff right out. I like to put down cardboard when we're installing appliances to protect the hardwood floors. Next, we drilled a hole and threaded a 3/8 inch water line through the sink base and attached it to the hot water supply.
Don't turn the valve on yet. Hey, turn it off, turn it off.
You need 3 things to hook up a dishwasher: power to make it run, a drain line that goes from the dishwasher to the garbage disposal, and a water line. I think the new guy did a pretty good job with the dishwasher. And if any of you have appliances that need installing, let me know in the comments and I'll send Pinky right over. He's trying to earn extra money to make his truck payments.